Imagine this for a moment. You're going about your day, feeling pretty normal, maybe even peaceful, and then someone says something small, something careless, and suddenly your whole body reacts. Your chest tightens, your jaw clenches, and your mind starts spinning with all the things you wish you could say back. It's wild how fast it happens, right? One tiny moment and your inner world is hijacked. The deeper reality is this. When someone gets under our skin, it's rarely about their behavior alone. It's usually because their words or actions activate something already living within us, an unresolved belief, an old wound, or a hidden insecurity. What we feel is less about them and more about the internal patterns they accidentally touch. Think about it. If someone called you a purple giraffe, you wouldn't get offended. You'd probably laugh. Why? Because there's no wound there, no insecurity, no story attached. But if someone calls you lazy or selfish or not good enough, and that hits something deep, that's when anger shows up. Anger isn't the enemy, it's a messenger. It's pointing toward a part of you that's asking to be seen, understood, or healed. From a psychological perspective, every emotional reaction begins as a chemical surge in the body, and that surge lasts about 90 seconds. That's the window where your brain fires up, your heart rate jumps, and your body prepares to react. If you simply pause and let that wave move through you, it naturally settles. But what usually happens is this. After those 90 seconds, the mind starts telling a story. What an idiot. How dare him said that? And suddenly, you're not reacting to the moment anymore. You're reacting to the narrative you've created. That's why you're still angry 20 minutes later. Once you understand the 90-second rule, you realize you have a choice point. You can let the emotional chemicals pass on their own, or you can keep fueling them with thoughts that reignite the reaction. Do you know someone who stays calm no matter what happens? They're not superhuman. They've just learned to pause, let the wave pass, and refuse to feed the story that keeps the emotion alive. I used to have someone in my life, let's call them Alex, who always made these subtle, passive-aggressive comments. Nothing dramatic, just little jabs that somehow found their way under my skin every single time. And I'd replay their words in my head for hours, sometimes days. One day, I finally asked myself, why does this bother me so much? And the answer surprised me. It wasn't Alex. It was me. Their comments poked at an old belief I had been carrying for years, that I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't enough. Alex wasn't creating that wound. They were just pressing on it. Once I realized that, something shifted. I stopped reacting. I stopped taking it personally. I stopped giving them emotional real estate in my mind. And the wildest part is Alex didn't change, but I did. And because I changed, they stopped having power over me. So how do you get to that place? How do you become someone who doesn't get angry or bothered so easily? It starts with a pause. Just a breath. That tiny moment of awareness creates space between you and the emotion, and space is power. In that space, you can ask yourself, what is this really about? Is it the person, or is it the story behind the emotion? What belief did their words activate? I'm not enough. I'm not respected. I'm not valued. Naming it is healing. And sometimes the answer isn't obvious. Sometimes you sit with the feeling and it doesn't reveal itself right away. That's okay. The goal isn't to force clarity. The goal is to stay curious. Curiosity softens the edges of anger. It turns the emotion from something overwhelming into something you can observe. And when you observe it, you're no longer inside it. You're no longer consumed by it. And then comes the part most people never realize they're allowed to do. You get to reclaim your narrative. You get to decide what their words mean. You get to decide what you internalize. You get to decide what you carry. Emotional detachment isn't coldness. It's clarity. It's the ability to see someone's behavior without absorbing it. When you stop absorbing other people's behavior, you stop being controlled by it. And the more you practice this, the more you start to notice something else. Most people's behavior has nothing to do with you. Their tone, their attitude, their comments, their reactions, they're all shaped by their own fears, their own insecurities, their own unhealed wounds. People project constantly. They project their stress, their frustration, their self-doubt, their unmet needs. And when you understand that, you stop taking things so personally. You stop letting their storm become your storm. Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling lighter, not because people suddenly became kinder or more thoughtful, but because you stopped letting their behavior dictate your inner world. That's emotional freedom. That's self-mastery. That's peace. And it doesn't mean you'll never feel anger again. You're a human. You'll still get irritated sometimes. But the difference is you won't live there anymore. You'll understand the message behind the emotion. You'll respond instead of react. You'll choose your peace over someone else's chaos. And when you reach that point, nobody, absolutely nobody can take your power away, because your power was never in controlling other people. It was always in controlling your response. It was always in understanding yourself. It was always in choosing what you allow into your inner world. And the more you practice this, the more you realize something profound. Peace isn't something you find, it's something you create. It's something you protect. It's something you return to again and again, even when the world tries to pull you out of it. And every time you return, you get stronger, you get clearer, you get more grounded in who you are. And that version of you, the one who doesn't get rattled so easily, the one who doesn't take everything personally, the one who can breathe through discomfort, that version of you has been there all along. You're not becoming someone new. You're returning to yourself. You're remembering your own strength. You're remembering your own worth. You're remembering that your peace is yours to keep. And once you truly understand that, life feels different. You feel different. You move differently. You speak differently. You react differently, because you're no longer living from your wounds. You're living from your wisdom. And that is where your real power lives.